I'll tell you another thing, every pocket should have a zipper. Every pocket should be, okay, this is the takeaway. Every garment should have a deep pocket with a zipper, at least one up to 5, especially when you're from New York City because you get the muggings.
I don't buy a jacket that doesn't have an inside pocket. You know this.
Yeah, I like an inside pocket. I like a good inside, with a zipper though.
You understand? All right, we get it. We like a zippered pocket.
I'll tell you what I hate.
Velcro
I hate
pocket.
the book bag that just has a drawstring on top. So I'm walking and someone pops it up. Again, I'm from New York. Someone pops it up, they reach their hand in there.
You wouldn't
I
feel
don't
that?
know. Maybe not if you're good at it. Have you ever been mugged or pickpocketed or anything like that?
No, I have.
Stolen
though.
from?
No, I've.
You've mugged someone?
Yeah.
What'd you get?
He didn't have a zipper, so I got a lot.
It's alive! It's alive! It's alive! Even the moon's frightened of me, frightened to death. The whole world's frightened to death.
See this? This is my boomstick!
I've been home, my friend, for a long time!
What are you, fucking nuts?
Okay, hi, hello, and welcome to the next episode. Well, next episode of the MonsterCast Hunters Appreciation. We're not doing a main episode this week. Schedule's kind of busy, but we should have one up next week. We might even do another double upload. But we wanted to bring another Hunters Appreciation, which if you don't know, if you never tuned into our last one, it's where it's a one-on-one. It's just me and another scare actor or makeup artist or anyone in the industry, and just kind of talk about their experience and shoot the shit for a while. But today I brought a really good friend of mine on. This is Zipper, if you want to say hi.
How's it going, guys? Happy to be here.
How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good today. How are you?
That's good. I'm doing all right. It's very hot. It's a fucking scorcher.
I know. I got the AC running full blast in here.
Yeah, I don't have any air conditioning. I do have a fan, but I can't run it when we're recording.
Oh, man.
That's
You're in the
okay.
sauna.
Yeah. So I guess kind of before we kind of dive into things, so what is your character? What is Zipper? Tell us everything.
So, in basic terms, in the most basic terms, Zipper is a demon from the underworld. But he's not your average demon. He'll most likely eat your cookies before he eats your soul.
Yeah, he's a quirky high school teenager.
Yeah, and I talk with the voice that probably wouldn't fit my character. I go, "Hey, how's it going?" Kind of like an Elmo voice, kind of, and you know, very subtle, very subtle with
Yeah,
it.
you know, tickle me Zipper.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, so
But-
then... Oh, sorry, you go. Sorry.
Oh, you go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going
Start
to
us
say,
off
and
here.
if anybody wants to see what Zipper looks like, we'll have pictures on it'll be all over the place for these. We always put the Haunters characters as all the different pictures and stuff for the video.
Be sure to follow the gram. Stay
Yeah,
updated with me.
Do we want to do plugs early? Hey.
We can plug it at the end. It's fine.
Yeah, we can plug after. So I guess real quick, to get kind of some housekeeping out of the way, get things through. So uploads haven't been as consistent lately. That's because I'm back in my job and it's 5 days a week, so it's a bit busy and hard to get scheduling around. But I try to upload as much as we can. And also, I just want to announce we are going to be at Midsummer Scream Awaken the Spirits, which is pretty much, we can just call it like mini Midsummer Scream, right?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, yeah.
It's the same thing without the Hall of Shadows, as far as I know.
Right.
And so,
And I think a different location too.
yes,
I'm pretty sure.
it's at the Pasadena Convention Center because Long Beach Convention Center isn't it being used as like a shelter right now, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, I
I
did
thought
not
it was
know
being
that.
used as like a hospice, like shelter. I could be wrong. That was just the stories that I heard about, but that's why they couldn't use it. But I'm assuming by next year we'll most definitely have regular Midsummer Scream
yeah.
back. They already announced
Definitely.
the dates for next year, so.
And everything else haunt wise seems to be opening, so I don't see
Yeah.
why not.
They just put up on the Not Scary Farm Instagram today that on the 15th they're going to be making all the announcements and stuff. I don't know if they mean like, just announcing maybe the media event that they do where they have the big, big elaborate stage show where they announce everything that night, which I'm going to try to go to it if they do because I fucking love going to those. They're always great. But it also could just be they're just going to do it digitally and announce everything then is what could be happening.
Yeah, it's honestly whatever's easier for them at this point.
Yeah, and Horror Nights is definitely happening. Everybody knows about that. We also know that SeaWorld's getting a haunt now.
Yeah,
San Diego.
I forgot the name of that one.
Howl-O-Scream. I've actually been to Florida's, and they're really fucking good, actually. So I'm excited to have it here. Oh yeah, no, they're gonna fit.
I didn't even know that they started that in Florida already.
Well, it wasn't at SeaWorld Florida. It was actually in Busch Gardens, Tampa. This is the first year that SeaWorld Florida is getting it, I believe, or SeaWorld Orlando. Sorry.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so it used to just be a Busch Gardens thing. Now SeaWorld Florida and SeaWorld San Diego are getting it.
Which, hey, I'm glad it's coming down here. It's a new thing to check out.
Oh, yeah, and those guys, their mazes are pretty cool. Like, the mazes are good, but where they really thrive is their scare zones. We've said that on this show before, but they really thrive in their zones. Their streets are fucking phenomenal.
I could imagine.
Yeah, and especially I'm excited because for such an open space, SeaWorld is a very flat park. It is a very flat, like surfacing, flat environment. There is so much room for so many elaborate props and stages and stuff. It's not even funny.
Exactly, yeah. And they don't use most of it all the time.
Yeah, they hardly use any of it. It's such a wide space, it's not even funny. And I think they said it's only 3 mazes this year, but also I think they said like 8 zones or some shit like that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's a pretty good start.
And Universal over here is you already know they're already constructing their mazes and everything.
Yeah, both Hollywood and Florida. But I believe Florida is going to be much bigger this year. I think Florida is going to win the haunt game this year because it's the 30th anniversary of Horror Nights.
30th?
30 years. So I think in terms of if it's going to get competitive, which it usually doesn't, it's cool that they're all hand in hand. But in terms of like, which one's going to strive against the others, I think Horror Nights is going to steal the show this year. They always do on their anniversaries, though. It's common.
And so you said the 30th year anniversary for Universal. Didn't Knott's just have an anniversary recently?
Knott's is on the 100th anniversary of the park, but Scare Farm's anniversary, I honestly don't remember when the next one is. I believe the next one is the 50th. I don't remember. I don't keep track with when Knott's started. I believe the Haunt started around like the 70s or 80s, no?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So it's got to be a good, like, maybe 40, 50 years that's coming up for the next one.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I'm sure that'll be big. I know there's a lot of speculation what the new Knott's Maze is.
Right.
Yeah, but as far as I know, I don't think we're getting a new one in the Mystery Lodge. I think it's just the Carnival one.
You're talking about, what's the name of it? Are you talking about the one that's in Carnival already? Dark Maze or Dark Ride?
No, not Dark Ride. That one's still here. All the mazes from like before that are like still here, they will be here. But in terms of new ones, the one that's replacing Shadowlands. That we're getting that one as a new one this year.
All right. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because it's Shadowlands and Infected that got taken out.
Yes, and then if rumors are correct, the ones that are being taken out after this year are Pumpkin Eater and Paranormal Incorporated.
Paranormal. That's like one of the last original ones standing. If not, I think the only original one standing.
Yeah, I think it might be the only original one standing now.
Right.
Because Special Ops got the gut.
And Special Ops has been there for like I think 7 years, something like that. Yeah, 7 years.
Yeah, but Paranormal's been around for about 6 now, if you include 2020.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they usually how it goes is if a maze is pretty average, it'll last 3-4 years. But then if a maze is really good, it'll last about 5 to 7.
And how long did they have Trick or Treat for?
Trick or Treat, I think, was a good like 5 years. No, because it used to just be Trick or Treat, and it was a whole different thing before they made it Lights Out.
Yeah, it was just like a regular house, and there was people in like clown masks. And...
Yeah, but then Lights Out made it like infinitely scarier before they got rid of it.
Right.
I miss Lights Out. That was a fun experience.
I'm honestly surprised that they're not getting rid of Dark Entities. That's honestly, to me, that's like probably on my bottom.
Yeah,
on the very bottom of mazes for me there.
I think they're really holding out hope for it to start doing well. Like I think they see something there because there is something there. You don't see a lot of haunts nowadays, kind of riding on that coattail, like the deep, like claustrophobic, kind of like in the middle of space. Like you don't see that in a lot of haunts anymore. I think the last haunt to do something like that was Depths of Fear at Horror Nights in 2019, and that was underwater. It wasn't even in space. It was you're in a submarine. So I'm sure there's more that we're blanking on, but as far as I can tell, that's the most going on my mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, are you working any haunts this year, or is there sort of one that you're working on?
Yeah, so I'm currently the cast manager at Dark Harvest in Chino Hills, California. We're the only corn maze, actual corn maze that's located in California that we know about. We're expected to get record-breaking numbers this year, and we have a lot of talent from a lot of different places coming to us, like Scandinavia and Dark Harbor, and people from Knott's that are applying. So it's going to be a good year for us, hopefully. I mean, we're starting to build earlier, so we're not building a month before the maze opens.
Yeah,
we're not rushing everything.
Wasn't that a situation? Because I helped out with a bit of the build and the casting last year. That was kind of the situation last year.
It was a time crunch last year because it took forever to get the permits and get approved because
get the corn growing.
Exactly, yeah. But this year we're starting a lot earlier. We've already sent out our applications. We've already gotten about almost close to 50 applications so far, and we're obviously not going to have 50 people working there. So this is honestly
just clutter 50 people.
Yeah, so this is actually the first year that we're gonna have to do cuts, as in cast cutting at auditions, because we can't have 50 people on payroll, especially for our size of maze, it just doesn't fit with us.
Yeah. Do you guys have like a specific theme for this year, or is it going to be kind of a mishmash of the best of like last year?
Yeah, so it's going to be, we have some of the similar rooms from last year, so like the Amazon room and the Witch room.
Yeah.
And this year we have a Slaughterhouse, and then we have a Hallows Eve room this year.
Ooh.
So we have like a bunch of props, pumpkin props and stuff that my boss Brandon has been working on. We have actual costumes for all the monsters this year. We've bought in masks for people who need them, and we're trying to make this a very diverse maze, like, because you don't go to a lot of mazes that are like different. Every room is different, Usually a maze has the same theme all around.
Yeah, I like when mazes are different or home haunts are different. Like a really good one is, if you've ever been to it, the Backwoods Haunt.
No, I have never.
I believe I haven't gone in so long, but I believe it's in Burbank. I could be wrong. I believe it's in Burbank, California. Yes, those guys are really good, and they're kind of good at like different theming, and they're really good at audio mixing. A lot of the music they make is like mixed and originally made just for their home haunt, and it's really good.
And that's what you like to see, is creativity and stuff like that.
Yeah, they had I think it was 2014 or 15, where they made a medley for their maze out of meshing a bunch of different songs from like either different songs that I heard in haunts or video games. So like NWO mixed with like Suicide Slide from Twisted Metal, and it was like a really good like mix. Like I love when mazes have good soundtracks. It's one of my favorite things. Like that's one of the reasons I fell so in love with Dark Ride, because Dark Ride and Not Scary Farm has an amazing soundtrack too.
I agree. Yeah, and music's like part of the thing that brings the maze alive.
Yeah, honestly, when I talk going back to it, I think the soundtrack is the only reason why I really find myself revisiting Dark Entities, because it uses the soundtrack from Portal 2, and I'm a sucker for Portal.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah, the music is they use Wheatley Science from Portal 2, which is a fucking banger track.
You have any plans for this season, haunt wise?
Well, I am trying to open a haunt, and I already have a maze idea, but I'm kind of juggling if I want to do that this year, because missing out on all the haunts and stuff made me kind of really want to revisit and like go to all the haunts and just be a visitor and just be back in the environment, and also maybe take some notes and ideas. Because I have a really good haunted house planned to open a haunt, but I might open it next year. Next year or the year after. I gotta juggle some ideas, but I have a really good like haunted house plan that I think I talked about it a little bit here, but I don't think I've ever full on elaborated on here before.
That's the thing. That's what sucks about like my position is because like I'm a manager, so I can't really miss days at mine.
Yeah.
And I'm not able to like go and visit haunts as much as I would like to. I mean, at least these days, but back then I would be at Knott's every single night. That was my plan.
Well, what I've noticed is you might actually have a window, because I know that the harvest usually only runs on certain nights, mainly like just the weekend. A lot of haunts are running their haunts like Tuesday through Sunday now this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
ours is Thursday through Sunday. So.
Yeah, I know Knott's is doing Wednesdays now, so.
Oh, really? So there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Now you gotta plan every Wednesday, September through November. So.
I got one day I can be a guest, and then the rest of the days I'm a scared.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, no, I always love working on haunt ideas, but I always like try to commission or pitch them to other haunts, and like kind of do it like that. But this one in particular, I'm really trying to like hold on to, and not like I'm not keeping it a secret. Like I can talk about it, but it's one that I'm not giving out to any haunts unless it's like a really high budget deal, because this one's really important, and like I'm really proud of this one.
Yeah, I mean you should be. I mean if you have all the ideas yourself and you're putting it all together by yourself, yeah, you should be proud of it.
Yeah, it's a good one. I think if I can find a way to bring it to life, a lot of people will enjoy it. It's something really creative and different than what we're normally used to.
Yeah, and that's what people like to see is new stuff.
Yeah. And
like, nobody's ever seen like a professional corn maze out here before until last year. So we did it.
Yeah, well, kind of. Well, there are some that have been, but not here. I think I think the closest we've gotten in a while in recent years, and like in terms of like big pro haunts, is Scarecrow the Reaping at Horror Nights in 2017 was very like corn maze.
Right,
really back to the roots of like SoCal haunts and stuff like that, and it was scary.
And obviously, Pumpkin Eater at Knott's.
Yeah, Pumpkin Eater at Knott's
corn maze. Yeah, there's parts where you go.
It was originally when it first opened. It was very corn mazy. Nowadays, I feel like it leans more on like the pumpkin and like Headless Horseman, I guess, aspect of things, much more than like but it has a little bit of corn. There is corn.
Peter, Pumpkin Eater.
Yeah, I think the Pumpkin Eater design is really cool.
Yeah. And I like how they incorporate them in the maze, too.
Yeah, that's a really badass costume. I know Horror Nights is supposed to be getting a maze kind of like it this year, but it's alluring to a character that they've had for a very long time at the event that like spans before Pumpkin Eater. And they're calling, I think the rumored name is Wicked Growth, the Realm of the Pumpkin. And it'll be the very like Universal's every year Universal does a property that's like very Halloween, like very like trick or treat, very pumpkins and string lights, and they always do one that keeps in the tradition of All Hallows Eve. So whether it be like trick or treat or in 2019 it was Graveyard Games, I think the one for this year is probably Realm of the Pumpkin.
And like as far as like the Universal over here, do you know like any of the mazes that they're supposed to have yet?
It's all speculation, but looking at the construction, it's pretty obvious what they all are. I think the lineup is the main one is Beetlejuice because that one's already been confirmed. Everybody already knows about Beetlejuice. That's
I've seen stuff about that.
Yeah, that's like it got the commercial, it's got the advertisements, it's already like there. Like house shirts have already been sold for that haunted house. And the rest of the lineup is speculated, so it could change. But the guys that made these speculation maps are always extremely spot on, like it's almost prophecy. So we have the Universal Monsters: The Bride of Frankenstein Lives. With the third year in a row, we get a Monsters Maze, and then The Haunting of Hill House is rumored to be the main like advertisement driven alongside Beetlejuice. And then we've got the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We've got the one that I'm most excited for, besides Beetlejuice, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
Oh, that's going to be good.
Yeah, but that's the one without Michael Myers, so I'm wondering how they're going to treat it.
And I mean, obviously, the last year that it was open, they had the Stranger Things 2 maze. You know, do you think they'll do Stranger Things 3 this year?
They did actually. The 2019 one was 2 and 3, but we're not getting it this year because we're not getting 4 because 4 won't be out in time for Horror Nights this year. So that's what Haunting a Hill House is. It's replacing it for this year, but I'm more than positive we're going to get Stranger Things 3/4 next year, with it mainly focusing on 3, but then having things about 4. Just like 2019's was mainly about season 2, but they had little previews snippets of 3.
Right at the end, you go into the cabin from the third one, right?
Yeah. So I feel like if they're going to do it again, it's going to be focusing more on 3, getting more scenes like Billy in the sauna and maybe the big old puppet Florida had and stuff like that. And like focusing more on the hospital and the shapeshifters, and then it'll have a little bit for 4, just like they did with 2 and 3.
They might even do something with the mall too. That would be cool.
Yeah, because I don't think
like the end battle scene, you know, when Billy gets killed. That would be cool.
Yeah, Orlando actually had Starcourt Mall as like the big final big scene with one of the largest puppets ever made for a haunt of the Mind Flayer, and it was a fucking beautiful set. It was like the one thing to
go over there.
Yeah, it was like the one thing to go to that maze for was that. Because the maze was honestly really whack, but that room in particular was fucking gorgeous.
You went to Universal 2019 here, right?
Yeah, I go to both every year.
What was your favorite maze from last year?
Creep Show, without a doubt. Creep Show stole the fucking show.
Yeah, that one was Creep Show and the Us maze. Oh my god, those people got me in there.
Us was I'm gonna be honest. What really surprised me is Us was terrifying. Well, I guess it's not really a surprise because it's a pretty scary movie, but I didn't realize how like creepy that choreography and that like lankiness of the characters like in the movies. Like I didn't realize how terrifying that choreography would be translated into real time, and actually experiencing all that. Those guys were good. Like that was an amazing cast.
The people that would just like. There was some people that would just stand still and I for real thought that there were statues, and then they would jump out at me and I would be like, oh my god, like what the hell?
Well, the maze ended with everybody doing the holding hands, and then some of them would be real people.
Yeah, two of them were real.
2 of them were real, and that was one of the most effective like stinger scares in Universal Hollywood history, honestly.
That one, and then they had the Holidays in Hell, right?
Yeah, that one I didn't find too scary, but it was really fun.
The sets were beautiful.
Yeah,
they
were.
One.
It reminded me of my favorite maze from Orlando's Horror Nights. HR Blood and Guts presents Holidays of Horror.
Yeah, I really like how Universal brings those movies to life and stuff like that.
Yeah, you know? I'm really excited for Beetlejuice because Ghostbusters was a really good one too, honestly.
Yeah.
I gotta give those guys props. They managed to make like a lighthearted family movie, and it was actually they had some good scares in that one. I was really surprised.
And the Slimer costumes were pretty legit, dude.
Yeah, they were. Well, I also have a bias towards Ghostbusters because I've talked about it on my Twitter. It's a very sentimental like franchise for me because those were like my childhood heroes. Like those were like they were like my Superman or like my Spider-Man or whatever the fuck. So like seeing like experiencing that in real time, I didn't get the same effect in Hollywood. I still had fun in Hollywood's, but Orlando's made me cry. Like, I actually left the maze in tears. Like, I've never gotten emotional over a maze before.
I think it was the year before the Saw Maze. Oh, I love that one.
Oh, that was 2017. A lot of people don't like that one. I thought it was fine. I think it's always fun to return to Saw because the music's fucking great. I love that like grimy, like grimy slaughterhouse aesthetic. I love the pig costumes. If they ever do Spiral, I would fucking love to be one of the pigs or be like one of those in the robe and the pig mask. I love that outfit.
Yeah, that maze was. I mean, I'm a big fan of Saw, so you know, like my eyes lit up in that maze. So
yeah, that was a good maze. I'm sure we're gonna get Spiral. Everybody fucking loves Spiral.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll get it immediately, but that might be maybe like a 2021 or 2022 or 3 house.
You think they'll ever make like The Conjuring or A Quiet Place?
They already said they wouldn't do A Quiet Place because the mazes really got to rely on being like loud and intimidating, so it's kind of hard or something like that. But The Conjuring, they've wanted to do for so long, but it's hard because of Warner Brothers. That's kind of why we get so much Insidious, kind of compensation.
Yeah, they're like, well, we got to give them something at least.
Yeah, which is fair. And Insidious is really good too. I love Insidious. And the Insidious mazes are always fun because it's always fun hearing Tiny Tim.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that one.
Yeah, no, Ghostbusters, Hollywood's was really good, but Orlando's was really something special, honestly. But I still thought Hollywood's was good. I know it didn't do as well in Hollywood as in Orlando because the crowd here is a lot different. They want nothing but like grimy slaughterhouse, like extremely scary here. So everybody here is kind of like Ghostbusters. What the fuck was that? But in Orlando, everybody adored that house, and I don't blame them because I did too. It was a masterpiece.
Right.
Yeah, 2019 was a good year for both haunts. Honestly, Hollywood did a really good job too. I know they had one. Oh, sorry.
I only went 2 times last year, 2019.
I think a really good house. Well, everybody knows this because it won House of the Year in Orlando. But like, we probably had one of the best sleeper houses of all time with the park. With House of 1,000 Corpses was really fucking good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, which it ended up winning because they do like, House of the Year, Scare Zone of the Year, Show of the Year every year in Orlando. House of 1,000 Corpses actually won House of the Year that year.
Which, I mean, that probably took people by surprise, but it probably deserved it.
Because it was at the bottom of everybody's hype list that year.
Right.
And by the end of it, like towards of like least one and most one, I saw a lot of people have it at the top of their list. Well, almost. It was usually like the number 3, number 2, because the best maze in 2019 for Florida was Universal Monsters.
Right. That's what I heard too.
Yeah, which while Ghostbusters is probably my favorite emotionally, like mentally, my favorite in terms of quality and how like amazing it is was Universal Monsters. Yeah. Because that is probably one of the best haunted house experiences that we've ever seen ever.
And I need to get down to Florida because
You should go with me this year. Take like a weekend off. I'm going early September. I think I'm actually going before you guys open Harvest.
Yeah, I might have to hop on that.
Yeah,
I've never even been to Florida. So.
Yeah, or when are you opening? When are you guys planning on opening Harvest this year?
Honestly, probably like early October.
Oh, then yeah, dude, I'm going early September. Fucking go with me. Let's go.
I'm down.
Yeah, I'm already like all booked and ready to go, so we can easily just like share a room at a Cabana Bay. I'm gonna be there the 13th through the 20th is when I'll be there.
Okay.
Because I'm going for the week 3 of their Horror Nights because it runs for 5 nights straight that week. It runs that like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
And how much is the tickets for that 5 days?
Getting the Horror Nights tickets. Well, they usually do passes and stuff, but I bought because I got impatient. I don't want to wait for the passes. I just bought 1 day for all the days, and it came out to like $300-400 for just a general admission.
That's not even bad.
It's doable, and then the round trip flights are pretty cheap right now, so I would jump on that quick. And then
Yeah.
for the hotel room, I already got it booked, so that's a different thing.
And you just got like, do you get like a hotel on the Universal property?
Yeah, I always stay at I like to well sometimes I'll switch it around, but since lately it's become like the Horror Nights hotel, I like to stay at Cabana Bay.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah, it's like they've even made it very clear this year that it's the Horror Nights like resort, because they're gonna have like an Icons bar and like a photo op inside Jack the Clown's blender and stuff like that.
Right, yeah, and that's what they do at Knott's too. They just turn the Knott's Hotel into like a scary farm thing, you know?
Yeah, they got like little scary farm things all set up.
You go like down into the lobby and you get like the buffet and the photo op and stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. They've both been doing it for a very long time now, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, and so the trip, well, because I haven't done any extra add-on stuff, I still gotta like buy like my express, because I'm planning on doing express for at least 1 or 2 nights, and then I gotta buy the daytime tickets for the days I want to go to Universal during the day too. But it'll be around like for everything, I'd say around 1,000, but definitely not up to like it'd be like under 1,500, definitely.
Mm-hmm. The express is good because like you could have that for 1 or 2 days and you'll be able to do everything. You know?
And it's cheap this year too. It's like $60-$70,
Mm-hmm.
which isn't bad when you consider like Knott's charges like 140.
Yep.
And don't even get me started on Harbor.
For real. So Harbor's done, huh? Wow, here at least, right?
I don't know if it's done for good, but for this year, I don't think it's coming.
And do they still have Dark Horizon?
Yes, they do. Dark Horizon will most likely be back.
Okay, and that's in Florida, right?
Yeah, that's I believe it's it's in Florida.
Somewhere in Florida.
Because I checked it out for a night, like just one night in 2019. But honestly, it was such a blur because I was so distracted by Horror Nights.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah, if you're coming with me though, I might actually check out Howl-O-Scream at SeaWorld. So
Yeah, that would be sick.
yeah, we can make it happen.
And what is it? It's in Orlando, right?
Busch Gardens is in Tampa Bay, but SeaWorld is in Orlando. It's actually pretty close to Universal and Disney. They're all in a pretty like centric spot. Disney's only about like maybe 30-35 minutes from Universal.
Yeah, they're really close to each other.
Yeah, and then SeaWorld and Fun Spot are like smack in the middle between the two, if I remember correctly.
So, I mean, they're all within like a 30-minute drive of each other.
Yeah, they're all within a 30-minute to an hour range, but we stay on. I'm staying on site at Universal. I'm not gonna go to Disney this year because I spent more at Disney in a day than I did in 3 days at Universal in 2019.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's not surprising to me.
Yeah, with all due respect to the rat, I'm more focused on Universal this year because it's the anniversary, so I want to take in as much as I can. Because like the icons are gonna be there, and it's so much history. And the Orlando lineup is really fucking good this year. Like holy shit, it's amazing.
And what do they have over there lined up?
They like to split it down the middle of half originals and then like half, like property ones. So they have like this. They have like kind of the same like movie and TV show houses. So like they got Beetlejuice. They have The Bride of Frankenstein Lives. They have well, right now there's one property that's kind of like being thrown around about because no one knows for sure what it is. So it could be Creepshow. And then originally it was rumored that it might have been Halloween 3, but now they're saying it might be Halloween 2018, the Blumhouse one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then what is it? The Boogeyman, El Cucuy?
El Cucuy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, El Cucuy was a Hollywood only maze, and that was in like 2013-ish.
Yeah.
I remember that one was badass. It's narrated by Danny Trejo.
Yeah, and what was it? The La Llorona one from 2012.
Yeah, Florida got that one too. Actually, I don't know. It's weird that they shared La Llorona, but they didn't end up sharing El Cucuy.
Yeah, which is surprising because like I would think that they would have the space for it,
Yeah, and then I'm trying to think what else is in Orlando. Originals wise, we got Horror Nights Icons Captured, We've got the original I'm looking forward to the most is Scary Ohio Horror of the Heartland, which is their anniversary house for the year, where they take like the best stuff from all their houses in the past years and they make them one big like mega house pretty much. But this year it's tailored as a specific theme, as all of the houses are like all of the best houses that took place in their Scary Ohio or their Carrie Ohio storyline. Sorry.
Right.
Which is good for me because my favorite house of the whole event is the Carrie Ohio house that we're probably going to see with HR Blood and Guts.
And I remember there used to be like a clown's 3D maze.
That was Hollywood only.
Hollywood, right?
But Orlando's main marketing icon is a clown that's coming back this year. Jack the Clown.
Jack, yeah.
Which
and
Jack,
I remember
Jack
seeing
the
the
whole
photos.
community knows Jack the Clown. Jack's like
Exactly.
Jack's like our Mickey Mouse. Like that's kind of like
his torture show.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I guess it's the best way to put him. Jack the Clown is the haunt community's Mickey Mouse.
And honestly, to be fair, I think my favorite thing from 2017 is when they had the Titans of Terror tram, right?
Yeah, that was fun. It was hosted by Chucky.
But it was on the tram, and I didn't even know that they had like a separate maze for that.
Yeah, they
like
did. In the Waterworld queue, they had a maze version of it, pretty much.
Yeah, and I didn't even know that, and I kept seeing signs like at the front, like saying "Go this way" for it, and my mom kept being like, "No, it's back here, it's back here." You know?
Yeah, they really should have used a different name, honestly. But it was kind of cool because it was like half original, half IP. It was an original setting, but then it had like these IP areas like Freddy and Jason and Leatherface, and
yeah.
But it was an original storyline.
And didn't they get rid of The Walking Dead? Or didn't they stop doing that?
Well, what's weird is the outside is gutted, but apparently the inside is still fully intact, and it's going to be used for Horror Nights in Hollywood this year.
Right.
Which makes sense. If they want to only open it for Horror Nights now, I feel like that. I don't know. I don't think I'll ever see it because I went through it so much it got kind of boring for me.
Yeah. And I mean, when I went in 2019, I mean, they had like a few real actors in there for it.
Yeah, they had a couple of new people, but it wasn't a whole lot, you know.
Yeah, no.
And it was kind of funny that like their one character, like when it was year round, their one like human character wore like a fucking like a skin mask.
Yeah.
But they weren't meant to be like some crazy cannibal. They were like an actual person, so they couldn't really find lookalikes. They just got like a face mold, and you could very clearly tell that it was a face mold because like the eye sockets are really aligned with the person's eyes. So it looked like kind of
obvious.
it looked kind of hollow, which is kind of funny.
I think one of my favorite ones was the American Horror Story mazes.
Those were good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like American Horror Story. Like that's one of my favorite horror TV shows. So
Yeah, a lot of people want it back. A lot of people want it back, but the problem is now that Disney owns it, it's harder.
Disney owns it now?
Because Disney owns Fox.
Right.
Just like one of the main mazes that's getting like petitioned for Horror Nights is What We Do in the Shadows, which is also owned by Disney now.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes it hard.
And those Blumhouse mazes are pretty cool. Like the one that had The Purge, and then it had Happy Death Day, and then what's that?
Oh
What's
yeah.
the one? The one
Sinister.
comes out of yeah, Sinister. There you go.
That one was okay. I know I'm not the biggest fan of the Blumhouse ones, but I really hope that we get Halloween 2018 Blumhouse eventually, which you might get in Orlando this year.
Yeah,
Because-
and that would be cool.
Yeah, because that's honestly probably the best Blumhouse movie. To be fair, it's Halloween 2018. I can't think of anything that can compare. Well, until Halloween Kills comes out.
Yeah, true.
Which, how do you
Yeah,
feel
that
about
never-
that, by the way?
I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
And did you watch the trailer for the new movie?
Oh yeah, of course I did. I heard that it only really released this early because it got leaked, And it was actually
really?
supposed to release with the Purge Forever or the Forever Purge or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, because it's not. It doesn't even come out until October.
Yeah, but apparently the trailer was supposed to drop along with the Forever Purge, but someone leaked it, so it released
the Forever Purge came out today, huh?
Yeah. So if it didn't get leaked, we would have just been barely seeing the trailer today.
And well, what else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, and dude, Michael is ruthless in this new movie. He just kills everybody in his sight.
Yeah, no, right off the bat, he just goes fucking ape shit on the firefighters. Going
yeah,
to save him.
Right? Like, I'm excited for that. I like the Michael Myers movie.
I like how the mask is like burnt into his face now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then the chick at the end of the trailer, she got his mask.
Yeah, like I don't think, have we ever seen someone get that like ballsy with Michael before? Like her with the mask and pull a fucking na come get me like shit.
Yeah. I mean, you have to have some balls for that because.
But I mean, also, I don't think the Strode family is as scared of Michael anymore because Laurie kicked his fucking ass in the last one.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, while she couldn't finish the job without the other two, she still did a really fucking hefty job on her own.
And my man will never stop until Jamie Lee Curtis is dead. Like,
yeah.
he just hunts her. Like, she cannot get away from him.
Yeah, I was thinking there's gonna be more they kill off Laurie, but then I remember that we're supposed to do one after this one.
Mm-hmm.
So if anything, it might be that one, or maybe the last one will be about her daughter. Who knows?
What's her daughter's name? Karen
Honestly,
or something like that?
I think so, but I know they try to like establish her as the new like modern day Laurie. But I don't think anybody really gave a fuck because everybody just wanted to see Laurie kick some ass, which they still gave us that. So at least that.
And Laurie is a badass, dude.
Oh yeah, especially in this one, she takes no fucking prisoners.
No, and she's just walking around the hospital with a knife in her hand.
Yeah, I remember seeing the first one, the Halloween 2018 in theaters, and when she pulls the fucking Michael, like the standing there 1 second, and then she's gone, or like when she falls out, and he looks over thinking she's dead, and then he's gone, the theater went into like fucking hysterics. Everybody was howling.
I can imagine. That's so funny.
Like, honestly, it's kind of funny. The theater was more hyped for that than when I went to go see Endgame, like the fucking portal scene. I got more hype from the fucking final fight in Halloween 2018 than Endgame.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, especially when you're a horror fan, you know, it just comes out in you.
Yeah, we don't get stuff that badass as often anymore unless it's Willy's Wonderland.
And the Silent Hill mazes too.
Yeah. Oh my god. Well, I don't know if we'll ever get a Silent Hill maze again. But
I don't think so.
Resident Evil Village fucking needs to be a house.
I agree.
Resident Evil Village has so much house potential. So I thought originally I was rooting for Biohazard, but then Village came out. I was like, no, fuck Biohazard. They can go to hell. Give me Village. Like, holy shit.
Oh man, that's so funny.
Like a puppet of the giant like meat baby from House Beneviento would be one of the most horrifying like haunt props ever.
Didn't they do a Alien versus Predator maze one time?
Yeah, they did.
Did you ever go in that one?
Yeah, I got to do that one. I think Orlando did a lot better than Hollywood, which that's how it goes for most mazes. It's pretty rare when Hollywood does a maze better than Orlando.
Yeah, that's what it seems to sound like.
Yeah, I'm gonna warn you now. If you're going to Orlando, it's honestly a little hard to go back to Hollywood's after.
Because you're just like attached.
Like you'll still have a good time, but once you get one hit of that high, there's like no going back. I can honestly say with confidence, they're on a level that no haunts here have ever gotten close to, except for Not Scary Farm.
Right, and that's because they just have like such a high production value.
Yeah, no, our Universal puts all their fucking cards on Horror Nights Orlando.
And I mean, hey, you can't be mad at them for that.
And I mean, yeah, it works. It's a deal that's never like. I don't think it ever had a bad year, besides maybe 2017 and 2012, and that's a maybe because those years still had really good shit to them. Because 2017.
What year?
Wait, what?
Go ahead.
I think it's like, well, they were like the baddest years. They were not bad years because 2017 still had The Shining and Ash vs. Evil Dead, which I fucking love both of those. And then 2017 had Saw as well, which I know Saw was a pretty hated maze, at least in Orlando. I thought it was all right. It's not my favorite, but I can't say it was like horrible either. You know.
What year did you start going over there?
2010.
Oh, geez. So, what was that? 11 years ago?
Yeah.
So, how old were you then? Like,
Oh, I was a wee little fucking lad. I was one of those like never really scared of horror, haunt stuff as a little kid kind of things.
right.
Which is I've seen it before at Horror Nights. I'm not a rare case at all. It's very common. It was even easy. I saw it a lot more in 2018 when they introduced Stranger Things. It was really easy for people to introduce, like, you know. Well, I still don't recommend bringing kids unless you know for a fact your kids will be fine.
Yeah, I mean that's how it is with everywhere too.
Yeah,
like
I feel like that's common courtesy with every maze. Unless you know your kid likes that stuff and will be fine, do not take them.
and especially like if your kid like freaks out, you know, it's such a waste of money.
Yeah, I know. So it's really like a double-edged sword.
And did you go to Knott's the last time it was open?
Yeah, I did. I was there on the night that it went into lockdown because someone had a gun nearby.
Yeah,
I was in line for special ops.
And everybody, like, all the monsters had to like change masks and stuff
Yeah.
for like identity protection. Like,
Yeah.
what'd you think of the two new mazes that they had?
I think Origins, The Curse of Calico, is probably the best haunted house in any theme park right now. That goes without saying. Even a lot of Universal people admit that. Like, yeah, it's the best haunted house we have in the game right now. Period.
And the Waxworks one is okay.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not.
What I like most about it is it has a ton of old Scary and Berry Farm props. Like
Very
a
true.
fuck ton. Like even going back to Carnival of Carnivorous Clowns, like way back, and I fucking love that. But I mean, the characters are fine. I like that it's pretty much a sequel to Doll Factory.
Exactly. And that was a really good maze.
Yeah, that was a good one. I just want to get a sequel to Uncle Bobo now in Carnival.
That would be sick.
Sequel to that, or you can even mix it up with Carnival of Carnivorous Clowns. Why not? Just bring us like a carnival maze. Like Shadowlands was cool, but like we need like consistency.
Especially if it's in Carnival.
Like Dark Ride is in a safe zone. Like in Carnival, like Shadowlands was in the Carnival, so it's like clowns, samurai.
right.
Samurai and Suicide for My Ancestors. Like, like don't get me wrong, Shadowlands was badass. I fucking love Shadowlands and I miss it.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird, rare, but fucking awesome to get fight scenes in a haunted house.
Mm-hmm. Especially samurai.
But it was fucking cool. Like, it wasn't amazing to get scared at. It was amazing to be like, oh my god, this is fucking awesome. Like, I'm watching like samurais duke it out, but it's still a haunted house.
How do you feel about Forsaken Lake?
I think it's really cool. It's a really creative scare zone idea. I wish they would put more sets in there and a little bit more theming, but I also get that it's a really flat, like empty area of the park, so that's fine. I'll take it. I just wish they would stretch it out a little more, I guess.
Yeah, and I remember like the first year that it had opened, that all the people were complaining because they had cut the boundaries shorter than it was supposed to be.
Yeah, and that was like the big marketing thing for Scary Farm that year. Everything was using
everybody.
Everything was using Forsaken Lake and that fucking Hearst song cover by the guy from Jelly of the Month Club.
Exactly.
Like, it was in the Scaremoney. It was in all the trailers. It was in the TV spots. Like,
honestly, I did like Fiesta though.
Yeah, I just wish it'd be a scare zone again. Like we don't
Yeah,
get.
I mean, I don't see why they can't. You know.
Well, it's because now it's a dance zone for the teenage.
After the dead or something.
I say it's for the tweens and preteens that go trying to be all cocky and confident, like, oh, like I'm gonna press this chick because I can handle Scary Farm, and then it's too much, so they hide in the fucking like like 2008 fucking like, mini like kids rave in the fucking Fiesta Village.
Oh man, yeah.
But I'd love to see Delos Muertos back.
Mm-hmm.
Which is weird because they still have all the props and shit from it up, but then no actors. Like what the fuck?
Right, and I mean they still have all the costumes and stuff too. So
yeah,
like,
I know they still have everything, so I don't see why not. But yeah,
But-
do you have a favorite home haunt that you don't work at?
honestly, I mean I grew up on Not Scary Farm, so I'd have to say Not Scary Farm.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's fair.
I don't go out of my way to like go to a lot of things because
Yeah, how about like
distance is always weird too.
how about like local like smaller town home haunts?
Would you count 17th Door?
I'd say we can kind of count it, like semi-count it, because it's like a B list.
Yeah. I mean that one is an experience for sure. Like that's something you have to do at least once in your life is go to 17th Door.
Yeah,
I really recommend.
yeah, I've already gone. It's a lot of fun. It's rough, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and not to like shit on them, but Dark Harbor's okay.
Yeah, I think Dark Harbor's fine. I don't like glorify it like a lot of people do, but I still know that there's a lot of really good talent there. We've had people from Harbor on this show.
Right.
I have
Killis, right?
Yeah, Killis. I've had Killis, and then I'd like to have more. Like, I want to get more actors and more makeup artists and just more people from the industry in this. I'd love to
Right.
eventually do one on like the big shots, like John Cook, but I know that's a bit harder to reach.
Obviously, yeah. That man's schedule's probably booked.
Yeah, it's just the whole point of just this show in general is it's just I want to make it like it's a non-monetized playground for haunters. Like I just want everybody to be able to express themselves and shoot the shit for a while, have a little fun.
Any questions that you want to ask?
You going to any conventions this year or any lineup for cons?
So I don't know if you've seen on Instagram the group called Scare Squad Society.
Oh yeah, I've seen them.
They're doing what's it called? They're inducting like 2 new members into it.
Oh wow.
And I already have a guaranteed spot because I know Lazaga and the other what's his name? I forgot his name. Hold on. Anyways, they want me to go to spooky boo events. I don't. It's a spooky expo on like July 24th
Oh
through the 25th.
yeah, I think I know which one that is. I might try to get those days off to go to that one, but I also still got to request time off for Awaken the Spirits.
And then there's the Halloween Depot, Horrorville. That's July 31st.
Oh yeah.
And then the October Village, and that's the September 4th.
Yeah. Yeah, I
So,
think the only one that I'm going to as of right now is Midsummer Scream, but it depends on my schedule. I want to hit up more. I wanted to go to Days of the Dead in Vegas this year, but I couldn't make it, so I'm going to make a trip next year. Same with Transworld.
Yeah. And when's the Midsummer supposed to be this year?
It's at the Pasadena Convention Center, I believe the 13th and the 14th.
Of July, right?
No, August.
Oh, August. Okay.
Yeah, so it's got a while. Tickets are still available.
Yeah, I need to get my tickets for that.
Yeah, they're pretty cheap this year. The VIP is only $75. That's what I got.
Yeah, and I mean to be fair, it's not like the big one either. So
Yeah,
I
it's
couldn't
not-
imagine it being so expensive.
It'll be a pretty similar scale, but I don't think they'll have room for the Hall of Shadows. Maybe we'll be surprised and get maybe like 1 or 2 houses. But
How
I
many
think
days?
we'll definitely just 2 this time. It's not 3.
It's Saturday and Sunday, right?
Yeah, but I think Midsummer Scream next year is actually 4.
Friday. Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, the next year one that's back at Long Beach.
And do you know, like, for this one, are people like allowed to dress up and stuff?
Oh yeah, no, it's still Midsummer Scream. Like it's still come in costumes, do haunt photography, like boost your thing, like do your thing. But it's still the same environment, just somewhere different.
Right.
Yeah, but it's still
Yeah.
very much like you can go in costume and you can do all that, and I'm sure they'll still find a way to do like the gala and shit.
Yeah, exactly. And that's like my biggest thing on conventions, like especially being a monster, is I like to dress up there.
Yeah,
I don't like going in just like normal people clothes, you know.
yeah. I would go as a monster, but I think I'm honestly because me and my sister are gonna be making shirts for the podcast. I might just wear that kind of
Right,
represent this year.
Rep
Yeah.
your
Do some
brand.
coverage. Maybe record a live afterthoughts at the hotel.
You could even get stickers made and hand out stickers too.
I was thinking about that too. I was actually gonna go get some sticker paper next week from like Walmart or Joann's.
So it's something so simple, but like it leaves a big impact, you know.
Oh yeah. You know, we don't have like our following is honestly in the double digits, but I just think it'd be fun to where if we ever do get a bigger following, you know, everything's already there, you know.
Exactly.
And that's because I want to keep, if I want to make money off of this, I want to keep this show like non-monetized. Like maybe I'll have a couple sponsors here and there in the future, but I don't want it to like be like, if people are listening and tuning in from YouTube, I don't want them to get like mid-roll ads every like 40 fucking seconds.
right.
I don't want this to be a very monetized thing. If we need
Especially
to make
on
if we need to make a lot of income, I'll do it through occasional like one-time sponsors and then maybe like merchandise. Well, we already have a merch shop up, but the main thing we use it for is because we actually have an artist alley. I guess I can plug this now, where if any artist wants to submit art either of or for any haunt or for the show, we'll put it on the shop and all of the proceeds go to the person that made the art. All of it.
See, that's beautiful.
I want to do it just for them to have a spotlight and make some money, and also like the pleasure of having like your art on stuff like a sticker you can take home or wear like on a shirt or a hoodie, and you know,
Right,
and just
exactly.
and then you get your share back as well when you do buy it for yourself.
It's like a showing of what's it called, like what's the word, like appreciation for that person, you know.
Yeah, exactly. It's like kind of like what I wanted to do is kind of similar to the artist alley that Knott's does, where they sell the prints. But I want it to be where we personally don't take a dime. It all goes to the artist that want to put it up, and it's a chance for them to have their stuff on merchandise and like shirts and stuff, and have their art displayed for people to buy and to make some money for themselves. And you know,
Exactly. Yeah.
so yeah, and
That's-
it's open to any artist that want to do digital art. The only thing is that the art has to like follow like TeePublic standards. But other than that, you're free to do whatever. It could be like a random art piece for Not Scary Farm, or it can be for the podcast, whatever you want to do.
Be creative, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Just do whatever.
Most importantly, be yourself.
Yeah. So, I guess before we go, we can start plugging and stuff if you want to talk about some of your social media and stuff, where to find you.
So Instagram is _zipper._. I'm pretty sure it will be in the title or something, right?
Yeah. Well,
Something
in
along.
the YouTube layout, and I'll put it in the description too. But in the YouTube layout, we have like little like frames that we make for all the hosts and all the guests, and it has your tag on there.
And then if you guys wanna check out the haunt that we're doing this year, it's at Dark Harvest on Instagram.
Any like special
right,
spaces or anything in between, or is it just straightforward Dark Harvest?
It's just straight Dark Harvest.
Okay.
Dark Harvest Haunt, I should say. Sorry. Dark Harvest Haunt on Instagram.
Yeah.
And you
Okay.
can keep up to date with, we post reminders once we get information, you know. We like to keep people updated about what we're doing and what's going on with us.
Yeah. And then if you want to find us, you already found us, so I don't know what to tell you.
Exactly.
But jokes aside, we do have. Well, what I did talk about. We do have our merch shop open. We have a couple of designs for the show. that are like proceeds go to the people that work on the show. But we have a couple of artist alley prints up from someone who's been a guest on our show. We did a mini-sode with them about Jack the Clown coming back to Horror Nights. Our friend Ash, or Chainsaw Boy, we have a couple of their Horror Nights designs and general art designs up on there for Jack the Clown and Beetlejuice, and and then we're gonna try to reach out to more artists soon to get more on there, because I really want it to be like a thing, like
Yeah, like a
way to
like a
help all
normal
these artists. And yeah, and then maybe in the future, like I want to hopefully get a Midsummer Scream booth where we can sell the stuff and do the same thing as well. And also another announcement I can make: I want to try to coordinate a charity drive soon. I'm gonna try to figure out maybe like one of those like all day live stream kind of ordeals, but we are planning on one. I'm trying to figure out which one I want to do. We're probably gonna do it proceeds towards the Trevor Project this year, most likely the Trevor Project, and then we'll pick a different charity or multiple charities every year. So it's still a bit in the planning phase, but it might be something more towards September. But just kind of look out for that if you can. And anybody's open to be a part of it. We'll probably open up some like Jackbox and do some fun stuff for charity, maybe some Dead by Daylight, and
Right, yeah. I mean, just raising money for people in need,
Yeah, like I thought of a fun idea of holding a charity drive where we invite survivors or killers into a custom Dead by Daylight game, but whoever loses has to donate maybe $15-$20 to the charity.
Right, and like you said, that if you do an all-day live stream, you could have a donation thing going, and
Yeah, exactly.
have it in the description, like we're raising money for charity, all this,
maybe do some
all these funds go to, whatever.
maybe
charity.
do some watch alongs for some movies and shows and stuff too.
Yeah, keep people entertained while you do it.
Yeah, play some horror games, stuff like that. Just kind of have a good time and bring different people and different haunters and different members of the show on throughout the day.
Exactly, and that's what it's all about, is having fun.
Yeah, having fun and doing it for charity.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I guess with that, and then I already did bring it up, but yes, we will be at Midsummer Scream, probably making shirts and stickers to give out. And yeah, so then if you want to find me, I'm always open. Like, we're always open. Don't be afraid to, come talk with us, say hi, and whatever. It'll be a fun time. It'll be fun to have all that back, and I'm excited to have that fog smell just hit you the moment you walk on the show floor again.
Exactly.
Like, I miss that smell so much. Like, if you ever, it's kind of embarrassing. If you ever see me on the Calico Mine Train at Knott's, I'm always just huffing at the end of the ride because they blast you with fog.
It's just like such a what's the word? It's like there's a word that I'm trying to think of. I can't think of it right now though. It's like a something smell. Like, I can't think of the word right now. I'm sorry, but
That's okay.
it's like a smell that that like you can't just like get out of your mind.
Yeah. Once it hits you once, you always remember it.
Exactly.
And I always try to sit in like the very back trains because that's where it hits the most. Because if you're in the front train, you don't get a waft of it, which sucks.
Right.
So you gotta be like in the middle towards the back. But yeah. But also I feel like every haunter that goes on that ride does that.
I mean, I don't blame them.
Yeah. But yeah, I think this will be a very strong haunt year. It'll be good to go back. I'm wondering how restrictions are gonna be now, because I thought it'd be back to normal, but now we got that new Delta variant. But I guess it's only affecting non-vaccinated people, so maybe they might just do more restrictions on non-vax people. Who knows?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, not to end it with a turn the punch bowl, but but it's at least nice to know that we will have a haunt season this year.
Yes. Back to normal. We're back to normal.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
Exactly.
But yeah, with that, I think we're gonna call it. You guys know where to find us and where to find him, and of course, you're welcome on the show anytime. And I think with that, we're just about good. Yeah.
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 I would say so.
So we'll see you guys around and see you in the fog this year. See ya.
Why not use your knowledge of the future to play the stock market? We could make trillions.
Why make trillions when we could make billions?
A trillion is more than a billion, numbnuts.
All right, zip it.
You can't even.
Zip it. Zip.
Look, all
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, Exhibit A.
Number 2, would you please back me
Look,
up?
I'm Zippy Longstockings.
I can't.
When a problem comes along, you must zip it. Zip it good.
Frown, would you please?
Kisuhai Pindawa, Nita Hioto. Subtitle, zip it.
I'm just trying to.
Zip. Would you like to have a suckle of my zipper?
I want you. Stop.
Zip it.
This
Zip
is.
it.
Oh, you know, you're like a child. Talking. If you just one time.
Zip it. Unveil the time portal.